I grew up on the family sheep farm in Knapdale in Southland. And as a teenager, I used to ask my dad if I could go around the sheep with him on Saturday mornings. And he always said, "Stay home and help your mother." So after hearing that a few times, well, quite a few times, didn't really resonate with me as a viable long-term alternative. So in the sixth form, I got a job a few kilometres down the road in a plant nursery, and that's how I got into horticulture. My business is Plant Hawke's Bay Limited, a native plant nursery. We specialise in growing eco-sourced Hawke's Bay plants. When I started up 10 years ago, I thought that if I simply grew good plants and more of them every year, they would sell themselves and my business would succeed. But instead, I found that building a business is a bit more complex. It's all about looking after customers and numbers and money. It's also about promotion, building a fantastic team, problem solving, having faith in yourself, and having really clear goals. Our nursery goals are threefold. 1, to be the preferred supplier of native plants in Hawke's Bay. 2, to grow a profitable and sustainable business. And 3, to help save rare plant species. When I divorced in 2005, it freed up some capital and quite a lot of energy to set up the business. I didn't have enough money to buy any land, so I decided leasing was a better idea. I lease exactly an acre from Landcorp's Ahuriri station, and when you sit at Napier Airport and you look out across the runway, you can see my greenhouse sticking up a bit on the other side of the runway. I have a full-time staff member, and she's an apprentice as well, Sarah Gordon, and a part-time university student, Tane Foreman. And together we grow 85,000 plants a year at the moment, and this has been increasing all the time. We wholesale plants and contract grow for farmers, lifestyle block owners, landscapers, and for specific conservation projects like Kakabeak restoration. You can see I've got some Kakabeak photos behind me on there. 10 years ago, I started out with a shed and an empty paddock, and first I built a greenhouse, and then each year added a bay, and that takes a gravel base, posts and wire, weed mat, shade cloth, irrigation. Now it's completely developed. So at the same time, we increased the plants and the market a bit every year. To help cash flow that development, I kept working part-time as a freelance rural journalist, telling other people's stories. I've cut this back to give more energy to the business now, but I still do a day or two a month as a researcher for the TV show Rural Delivery, for AgMart, which is the funding good ferry no one has ever heard of, and I have a new environmental column with New Zealand Farmers Weekly. So that was the last 10 years, and then my goal for the next 10 years is to maximise the returns from my investment. And part of this is to tell the stories of our plants to the customers. It's good fun having school and polytech students visit the nursery, and it takes me back to when I was studying horticultural science at Lincoln. But growing the business has been much harder than I naively anticipated at the start. In 2006, I climbed Tapu Inuku in the inland Kaikoras. It's the tallest mountain there. I was a bit daunted by the prospect, but the good friend who took me up the mountain reassured me by saying, "Don't worry, we'll just chip away at it." So I learnt that lesson, and at work my policy has been the same, not to be overwhelmed, but to chip away, build the best professional support all around, and keep improving things. And the business has grown from $6,000 of sales in the first year to $187,000 so far this year, and we still have a few months to go. More than 80% of our sales are to repeat clients, and they're the ones that do the best job for us promoting the business. My other promotional vehicle is my car, which you can see a bit in the background. About Easter this year, I had it covered in plant photos and that I'd taken, and it's been a great move, really good promotional tool. A witty friend of mine suggested that when I write the car off, which I'm really looking forward to, that we pop the windscreen out and use it for a mai-mai. So just to summarise, I think business should be a win-win for all the people involved. I really enjoy working with our staff, our suppliers, and landlord Landcorp, and our fantastic customers, including the prospective My owner. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today at your conference and to tell you my story. And thank you so much to the sponsors and to Rural Women.